Hi Gemini, welcome to your monthly reading for February 2024. As always, thank you to everyone who watches, likes, shares and comments on the videos. Thank you to everyone who subscribes to the channel as well. If you would like a personal reading, see the info in the description box. So these are the books from the Oracle decks I'm going to be using for today's reading. Obviously, this is a tarot deck, the Beautiful Creatures Tarot, but it's not the first time I've used a tarot deck as an Oracle deck. It feels like an Oracle deck at this point in time, and for me, it gave off Aquarian energy. The reason I say that is because one of the energies or meanings we associate with the Aquarius energy is innovation. It's doing things differently. And for me, using a tarot deck as an Oracle deck, it's doing something a little bit differently. If you haven't already seen it and you do want to watch it, I did do a video on the recent transits. We had some major transits to do with Aquarius, Pluto. So Pluto's entered Aquarius after being in Capricorn for 15 years. It's a massive change. It's a new era. I'm not saying it'll happen all in one go and just all of a sudden, but it is a massive change. So it's going to be now in Aquarius for a couple of decades now. We're in Aquarius season. The sun is in Aquarius, and we had the sun conjunct Pluto in Capricorn as well on the same day that the sun entered Aquarius. So if you want to know about any of that stuff, then there will be a link on it's the end screen, isn't it? There'll be a little thing on the end screen that will take you to that video if you want to watch that, or you can just search through the channel. There are individual messages in that video for each zodiac sign as well. Tarot messages, I talk about astrology as well. So it might be helpful because it is a massive change for all of us collectively and individually as well. But anyway, let's get into your reading. So we're going to start off with a card from the Beautiful Creatures deck and one from the Power of Surrender to start the reading off. That will be your main theme. And as usual, the messages are for Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising. So let's get the tarot card. Sorry, the Oracle, well, yeah, tarot card that I'm using as an Oracle card from Beautiful Creatures first of all. What does Gemini, Sun, Moon or Rising need to know for February 2024? What do you guys need to know? That was really dramatic, wasn't it? Right, we've got the King of Cups, Fascination. So I am taking their messages quite literally, however they state it. So yeah, that's not one there. Let's get you a Power of Surrender card. I will be reading that message from the Beautiful Creatures deck. From the book, because as you know, with each different tarot deck they have their own take. Like there may be a general meaning, but they have their own take on it as well, so I thought it would be interesting to do it that way. So what else do we need to know for Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising for, I think there's about 5 cards there. No, there's 3 cards. I'm not going to take those. You had Surrender, Denial, Surrender to Non-Action and Surrender to Your Soul's Path. So let's see what comes out when I try it again, because that is a lot. That's a lot of cards. So for Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising, what do we need to know? I have to say the Power of Surrender is like one of my favourite decks. It is very simple, but yeah, it's just one of those that I connected with straight away, and it just, yeah, just one of my favourites. But anyway, I'd probably use it for every reading, but it's nice to have some variety, isn't it? Yeah, that one. So you have Surrender to Receiving Support and Love. It says, allow the love and support of others in rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. And what's back on the bottom as well? Surrender to Your Soul's Path. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. So I'll get your tarot cards out first, and then we'll read that King of Cups. And you know, why have I only just realised this? We do think of the King of Cups as being, well, it's cups, it's love, isn't it? It's relationships, but he is known to be very supportive, isn't he? He can be like a spiritual advisor, a counselor, that sort of energy. But let's get your tarot cards out first of all. So for Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising, again, main theme or focal point for the February 2024. So we've got the King of Pentacles in reverse. I mean, this is another supportive, nurturing energy, more on the practical side, but it's in reverse. So, okay. Let's see what comes up for your energy specifically, how you're dealing with things. You've got the Six of Wands. I'm going to say it because it's playing on my mind with that King of Pentacles. If there is the possibility of someone sort of rejecting support for whatever reason, you could have a completely valid reason, to be honest. But yeah, that came to mind. Let's see what the external energy is for you. You've got the Six of Wands as your energy specifically. Right, Page of Pentacles in reverse as the external or surrounding energy. I don't know why it's just, well, I do know, it's come to mind now. If it's not that you've rejected support from someone, if somebody's kind of rejecting support from you, is coming to mind. But let's continue. That might just be one little message in itself. Let's have a look at the past energies for this. So past energies. Past energies for Gemini. Oh my God, you've got the Three of Cups. It's a card of support, isn't it? The Three of Wands, the Three of Cups. Okay. And I believe the Three of Wands can be to do with networking as well, actually. So with that Three of Cups there, it really could be about networking, or support networks is even a way of putting that. That could be quite big in this reading about support networks, whether it's you providing the support, others providing support to you, whether it's mutual, you know, that kind of energy. Let's get the current or present energy. You've got the Hanged Man, potential future. You have the Queen of Cups is here now. The Queen of Cups and the Star. That is a really nice energy together. Okay. And let's get you your card of advice as well. Yeah. No? Okay, no. Right, you've got the Ten of Wands. Okay. I keep hearing growth. Every time I look at the Hanged Man, I keep hearing growth, 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 growth. So I'm not sure what that means for someone yet. But let's get into the message from the book for the King of Cups, first of all, and see what that says. I should have just looked in the index, because when you get to the court cards in this book, I still don't understand the order they've done it in. It's a really weird order. I mean, they've got the Queen of Swords, then the King of Cups, and then the Knight of Wands. Maybe they've done it in terms of planets. I'm not sure. But anyway. Oh, they have. I've just realised. Now I understand how they've done it. They've done it in order of the of astrology. So they've got the... As I said, I don't know why this is important. They've got the Queen of Swords, which is Libra. And then they have the King of Cups, which is Scorpio. And then after the King of Cups, it should be Sagittarius. Yeah, Knight of Wands is Sagittarius. Followed by Capricorn, Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, okay, I understand now. That'll help me when I'm trying to look through this. It says, I want you to guard and take good care of what you love the most. And the key word, as it says on the card, is fascination. It says, a mysterious girl and her pet scorpion search throughout the world for living creatures who have not known what passion feels like, or what passion is or feels like. Once they find them, they will help them find something that they can apply their best interest to. When this happens, they will know what it is like to be passionate. So why did they not call it passion? I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's just considering they've talked about passion so much and the meaning, you would have thought they'd put passion. But anyway, it says the energy of the King of Cups is sensual, vibrant, and magnetic. You know what? I have to be honest, I've never really thought of the King of Cups in that way. Obviously, this is what it says in here, but you just think of loving and soft and gentle and understanding, or then the other side of it is reserved. But yes, sensual, vibrant, and magnetic. That is, I mean, that is Scorpio energy. I forgot it's Scorpio, isn't it? But anyway, It says the king, ruled by Pluto, the entity of regeneration and final outcomes, is associated with the Scorpio, who embodies, I think they mean the scorpion, who embodies a passionate archetype. Scorpio rules intimacy and death. Yeah, we often forget. We think so much about rebirth that we can end up forgetting the whole intimacy part of Scorpio, but it is what it is. It says, so the archetype, the King of Cups denotes a person who is ardently passionate about their creative venues and all that pleases them. When they feel something in their bones, they know that it is a sure thing, and they will stop at nothing to obtain it. Once this thing is in their possession, they will protect it until they can no more. On the negative side, this may also be a person who becomes too obsessive over irrelevant things that serve no purpose. These things may be the simplest issues that turn into bigger issues. It is very difficult to talk them out of something even though you know it serves no purpose for them. And the situation, as a situation, it says the King of Cups represents a situation where you may want to be passionate over something to have a sense of fulfillment. In order for you to be passionate for it, it must be something that you know will bring you absolute fulfillment. It must also serve a purpose in your life and help you in any possible way. On the negative side, you may want to be careful not to become too obsessive over things that have no solution or hope. These things will only lead you in the wrong direction and will eliminate your sense of finding what is really out there for you. You will have to learn to detach from these things. That's really interesting. I mean, how many, well, okay, I was just going to say, how many Scorpios do you know? And there are two very prominent Scorpios in my life. And it's really interesting because with those particular Scorpios that I know, they are passionate when they become fixated, and Scorpio is a fixed energy, isn't it? Like when they become fixed on an idea or a thing. I know one Scorpio who's very, very creative, and they are really passionate about that, but they're completely detached from everything else in their life. And the same with the other Scorpio as well. They're very, I think, highly focused is the best way I can describe it. They've got a particular thing or ideal that they're highly focused on, but they're kind of detached from everything else. So I guess that's where it said that whole the obsessive side. Yeah, that's interesting. That is really interesting. But anyway, so I don't know if Scorpio is very relevant for you with that King of Cups energy coming up there. Maybe there's a Scorpio person in your life, or maybe Scorpio is prominent in your birth chart. There's a link in the description box if you don't already know and you want to look that up. But let's get into this because I have talked enough. So let's look at the King of Pentacles. It's actually quite pleasant outside today. It was really miserable yesterday and dark and cloudy, and the sun's actually out, like it's freezing, but the sun is out, so that does help to brighten up the day. And Monday, gloomy Mondays, I mean, who likes Mondays? I'm sure someone does. I don't. I hate Mondays, and when it's miserable out there, it doesn't help. But let's have a look. King of Pentacles as your main focal point. So what do we need to know about this King of Pentacles? I'm going to try that again. That did not feel right at all. King of Pentacles. So you have Temperance. I'm actually getting faith from Temperance, and I don't think I've ever gotten faith from it before. That's the first thought that came to mind, but let's see what else comes out after that. What else do we need to know about Temperance, please? Anything at all about the King of Pentacles in reverse? Okay. Ooh, okay, I guess there could be a very good reason why that's come up. Let's see what else comes out. I have a big thought on this, but I'm going to see what else comes out first. Four of Wands in reverse. And you have the Page of Cups. Right, I'm going to have a look at the Seven of Swords and the Four of Wands. The first thing I'm wondering is if there's a lack of trust or faith in a particular person, a group of people, or a situation even here. That does come to mind. Let's have a look at that Seven of Swords. I really feel like that fascination should have been called passion, but yeah, it's just my opinion. Right, Seven of Swords. Wow. And then we've got the Five of Cups. Queen of Cups. No. What else? High Priestess. Let's get one more for that. And the Sun. Yeah, I really feel like there could very well be a lack of faith or trust in, as I said, someone or something. And with that Page of Cups there, I think I'm going to clarify. Right, I'm going to do the Four of Wands. I don't know if you've had an incident with a specific person or something that has just put a sour taste in your mouth. This is the only thing that comes to mind. Seven of Wands, Eight of Wands. One more for that Four of Wands. So you've got the Ace of Swords and the Four of Swords. And let's do the Page of Cups. Nine of Cups. Let's see what follows on from that, because I'm not sure. Yeah. What was it? Eight of Cups. And let's get one more after the Eight of Pentacles and see what that is. Yeah, same thing. I feel like someone may have had an incident with a person, a situation, a group of people where their trust and faith was tested, and it looks like hurt feelings here with the Five of Cups and the Queen of Cups. With that High Priestess there. I don't know if there was an intuitive, like a gut feeling that something wasn't right and then it came to light. That's a possibility here. Or someone wishes that their intuition had been clearer. That's another way of looking at things. But with the, okay, with the Four of Wands, it's where something just wasn't, it's like a bit of a false foundation, isn't it? An instability. I'm getting defensiveness with that Seven of Wands energy, and I kind of feel like the possibility of a little bit of manipulation with the Eight of Swords, where somebody may have been manipulated, but it looks like with the Ace of Swords, the truth has or did come out, and that kind of, that's impacted things. Let's get one after that Four of Swords. Wow. Yeah, it's like the truth would have come out, but then it's not an easy truth. It would be more along the lines of a painful truth or a difficult truth, and it would have required a bit of self-nurturing. With the Page of Cups, the first thing I think, I don't know if I just said it, about naivety, something about naivety here. You know, like if you, how do I put it? You know when something's too good to be true, and then you can end up being a bit naive about it because it looks so good. You end up being naive and thinking, oh yeah, this is wonderful, this is great. You've got the passion there with the Ace of Cups. Nine of Cups, that's the too good to be true energy. But then having to walk away and leave something behind. Just looking at this Eight of Pentacles. I don't know if with that Eight of Cups, it's like walking away and putting your efforts and energy elsewhere. To sort of free yourself. Right, that's an interesting massive bunch of cards and energies. But yeah, main thing, a lack of trust in possibly people. I mean, I did say at the beginning, is someone rejecting love and support, and if that's happened, if you've had that kind of situation or incident go on in your life, I can understand why you might be reluctant. And it could be in any number of situations. Yes, I guess the first thing that comes to mind is a relationship of any kind, whether it's platonic or romantic, where you've lost trust in someone. That does come to mind. Let's have a look at your energy as the Six of Wands. I don't know if you've seen any of my other readings, you've probably heard me say about the Six of Wands quite often. This particular Six of Wands, it's from the Spellcaster's deck. It looks like an uprising a lot of the time, but let's see what comes out with it. I mean, it looks like a positive energy, to be honest. Although, let me see if what comes out, because if a particular, it's on the bottom of the deck as well. I was going to say, if a particular card comes out, then it might be something not as great as what I thought it was. So basically, with the Six of Wands, as I say, it can be an uprising. There can be an element of confidence here. However, it can be when we get into our ego a little bit, you know, like when we've gotten hurt, especially with people or whatever situation. And then when we go into new situations, do I want to say we kind of get a bit on our high horse? I don't know, maybe. Or it's just like a battle for control, isn't it? You don't want to be taken for a ride again, so you might become overly confident or, you know, something along those lines. That's what I was going to say if the devil came out and it was kind of on the bottom of the deck. But let me just give the cards a shuffle and look at the Six of Wands. Because again, that whole thing about potentially being resistant to support. But let's see, Six of Wands. So you've got the Hierophant there. Nope. I'm going to try that again. It still doesn't feel good. Right, after the Hierophant for the Six of Wands, what do we need to know? You've got the Chariot. Right, you have the Emperor and you have the Ten of Cups. Okay, that's a better energy than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to get one for that Hierophant. There's the King of Cups again. Nope. What the hell is going on with these cards, Gemini? Flying everywhere. I will take those aggressively aggressive flyers. Right, the Hierophant, the Four of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands. I kind of feel like this is where it's like what you've learned from a situation or be a situation involving another person. It's what you've learned. Let me just get one more. Okay. It really feels like what you've learned, and I will talk about these in a minute, but it's how what you've learned helps you to make decisions and take the lead towards whatever makes you feel fulfilled so that you can be successful, like a determination to be successful in whatever that means to you, whatever success means to you. But I think one of the easiest ways I could describe this energy, it's like, you know, if you've had experiences with romantic relationships and from each relationship you learn how to hopefully do it better the next time. You know, you learn about boundaries, about what's acceptable, what's not, green flags, red flags, intentions. What's the other word I talk about? Non-negotiables. You know, basically you kind of build up a mental portfolio and emotional portfolio of what works and what doesn't in relationships, and that's what this feels like. So yes, for some it may be very well be an actual relationship of any kind, romantic or platonic. It could just be a situation, but it's just that you've learned from past experiences where there may have been a lack of trust and faith before, and it's like learning what it takes now, how you go forward so that you can make things work. As I say with the King of Cups as well, there's an element there of emotional maturity and emotional intelligence that you would gain from, you know, certain situations as well. Let me go back to that beautiful creatures book and see what else it brings up, because I know the key word was passion, wasn't it, that I kept on going on about. So at least I know how the index works now when I'm looking through these. It's easier to find. Yeah, it's that bit, because I said determination to be successful, where it says when they feel something in their bones, they know that it is a sure thing and they will stop at nothing to obtain it. So that might be that this energy and that energy, I feel that that's quite similar at this point in time, but we'll see how it progresses. So like for some people, which I'm not knocking anyone for this, if certain people go through experiences in relationships, negative experiences, and it makes them really bitter, and they can end up either rejecting relationships altogether, or they end up playing games in the next relationship because they want to one up people. It's like this energy is the opposite of that. It's where it's like you've been through bad shit, your trust may have been completely fucked over, to be frank, but you come out of it thinking, right, what have I learned from that situation? I still want to find someone, I still want to enjoy relationships. What can I learn from that, and how can I use that to take me forward? It's that kind of energy. So the Four of Pentacles would be, I don't know why I'm giving relationship examples so much. I guess that's just what's coming up here. That would be the part of relationships where you're stagnant, the stagnancy in certain relationships with people. I mean, as much of as the King of Cups can be about emotional maturity and emotional intelligence, it can be where you hold your feelings back as well, whether it's through fear or whatever. And then Eight of Wands can be the chaos in relationships as well, can't it? But it's, as I say, it's like you've learned or are learning how to what you've learned from that and how you can use that to make things work in the future. So again, it doesn't have to be to do with a relationship, but that just is the easiest thing at this point in time. Right, so we have the Page of Pentacles there as well as an external or surrounding energy. So let's see what that's about. So why is the Page of Pentacles in reverse? That's an energy that is external to you or surrounding you. King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles is out twice, isn't it? So we've got the he's under there and he's here as well. King of Pentacles, the Death card. Nine of Wands. The Ace of Wands. Six of Swords. Let's just get one for that Six of Swords. This is really interesting because the way I'm perceiving it is, it's almost like that Page of Wands, it's external, it's energy external to you, but it might not even have happened yet. And how would I explain that? It's like, so as I say, if you've been in situations where there was a lack of faith and trust because you were left disappointed or whatever happened, it didn't honor you, let's say, and you've learned, it's almost like the Page of Pentacles is now speculative, where it's just that you've got in your mind, in whatever situations you get involved with people, whether it is relationships, work situations, projects, whatever, if that person doesn't come with a sense of maturity, if they're not bringing maturity and stability to the table, then you're just not even going to go there. You'll cut it off in a flash. That Page of Pentacles in reverse, I mean, upright, it's just a small, it's planting a small seed, isn't it? It's the beginning of something physically. In reverse, it's like not even being willing to give it a chance. You know, like if you went on a first date with someone and a red flag of whatever sort came up, I can't think of one at the minute, but any sort of red flag that you deem to be immature or just not, it's just a red flag to you, like, nah, that's not going to work, that's not right. You'll sort of instantly cut it out. You want the that Page of Pentacles energy, and like even if it was business related or something like that, it doesn't have to be about relationships. Like if you were going to go into partnership with somebody and you were sort of interviewing people to go into partnership with, any sign that they aren't mature and can't bring the stability that you want to bring into that business. It's like, nope, cutting them out straight away with the death card. It's like you're not willing to go through that battle again. You have the passion. You kind of probably know what you want. But yeah, there's just like these boundaries. It's strong boundaries. You're not willing to put up with any bullshit. You will just move on. If there's anything that seems like it would be stagnant or that it would be ambiguous, is coming to mind with the Eight of Swords, but unclear, it leaves you feeling mentally trapped, it causes you any degree of stress or anything like that. It's like, nope, it's not even gonna begin. It's gonna be a non-starter. That's the energy I'm getting. But as I said, with that Six of Wands at the beginning, I did say before the clarifiers came out that it could be something where we get a bit into our ego sometimes, where we get a bit too overly confident, too assertive, to the point where it becomes detrimental, and it's like you're just like, everybody's a walking red flag to you. Even if they're not actually a literal walking red flag, you just see everyone as a red flag because you're determined to be strong and avoid disappointment again and having to face those battles. So yeah, let's put these away. That's how that's coming across to me. So, and with the word fascination now, as much as it speaks of passion a lot in here, I think the word fascination, it's kind of like a heads up to kind of be a bit more open-minded, isn't it? Because what's fascination? It's cute. Another way of saying fascination is curiosity. You know, having that sense of curiosity, seeing how something goes as well. I mean, I know there's the side of fascination where it can become like where you're enamored with something, but it is having that sense of open-mindedness as well, I think. But let's look at the Three of Wands and Three of Cups. I did say that looked like support network, so let's have a look at what comes up with that, because I'm intrigued by this energy. Let's see what comes up. So Three of Wands, Three of Cups. So you have the Knight of Swords. No, okay. I was mentally asking myself and my brain just kept saying, no, 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 no. Okay. Three of Wands. Watch it come back out now. That'll be hilarious. Three of Wands and Three of Cups, please. What do we need to know about that? Right, well, we get a different swords card. We get the King of Swords for that. We have the Two of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles and the Five of Swords. Okay. The first thing that's coming to mind with this is something about conflicting information or conflicting advice. Let me get something for that King of Swords, and I think for the Five of Swords as well. So King of Swords. Oh God, no. There could also be something about control with that King of Swords as well, but let's see. What do we need to know about that King of Swords? I will keep that, to be honest, because it feels like it matches with the energy I'm getting from it. Oh God, that's a lot, but I'll take, yeah. Yep. Okay. So this energy, the King of Swords, whether it is a literal person or well, it's more likely a literal person, it is the energy that would have disappointed you, that would have impacted your sense of faith and trust in people. It looks like it's somebody that would have been within your support network, and that could be anyone. I mean, who do we consider to be part of our support network? I mean, I consider my mum to be a part of my support network. I may have a friend who's a part of my support network, cousins, you know. Yeah, obviously it's going to be different for everyone depending on what your relationships are with people, but this is a lot of freaking chaos here. And the thing is with the King of Swords, did I say conflicting advice or something to that effect? Conflicting advice, or yeah, that's the only thing I can remember saying now. The King of Swords is the advisor, so they are someone that you would look up to, aren't they? But with this energy, clarifying that's almost like having someone that you look up to who's completely screwed you over. And I am sorry if you've been through that, but that's what that looks like. This is just I don't even, I'm not even going to get into each part of it, but it's just a complete mess here. So I could understand if you've been disappointed by this particular energy, but as I say, it looks like there's someone within your support network from the past. So I get the whole lacking trust and faith, and you know, yeah. And it's just giving the same energy throughout. I mean, you've got the Two of Pentacles, which one of the meanings I get from it, it's like balancing your values out, isn't it? But balancing your values, if it's not practical things like opportunities or whatever, your values, other people's values, it can just cause confusion. I am going to get something for that Two of Pentacles just for the hell of it. And then I want to look at the Five of Swords, because that is the conflict, isn't it? That is, but it looks like this is where you would have cut it out with that Nine of Pentacles, Five of Swords. You would have probably been balancing their advice, what you think you should do, and got to the point where you were like, oh no, I can't do this anymore. I'm just going to do my own thing and figure it out myself. So what am I looking at? I'm looking at the Two of Pentacles, and that's where you figure it out yourself. The Hermit and the Ace of Swords. That's where you get introspective and you get your own sense of clarity, isn't it? Let's look at the Five of Swords, which to me, it just looks like where you reject the chaos, basically. You reject all of, that's just a complete mess, yeah. Courage to trust in how you feel and trust in your own sense of intuition about things. Okay, I will leave that there. I've never seen anything like this in my life. This is insane. That is absolutely insane. Yeah, it's a complete mess. And I don't have a specific thing that I will say that it is. I'm not even going to say hopefully you'll know, because I'm sorry for anyone who's gone through that, but that is a complete mess of energy, that is. Right, so it just looks like a complete bunch of confusion. It's left you out in the cold. There's pain involved, there's stress involved. It's destructive as well, even for someone. There's an energy of it being destructive there too. So yeah, I am sorry that you may have experienced that. And that one goes, I think it goes there. Right, we've got the Hanged Man. This is you in your present current energy. I mean, one thing I can say, this is where you're doing it, you're figuring it out for yourself, aren't you? You're not letting, if you've had conflicting advice, guidance, whatever, you're at a point now where it's like, I'm literally figuring it out for myself. I'm not going to let anyone sway me or tell me what I can and can't do or should or shouldn't do, because, well, number one, it didn't go down well in the past, but you do have that surrender to receiving love and support card. So as I say, it's just being careful that you don't dwell too much on whatever happened, where you were, I don't know, whatever happened back in the past, and it's like getting to a new point now where you can be a bit more open-hearted as well as open-minded is coming in. But let's look at the Hanged Man. You could potentially be, yeah, I was gonna say it, shutting people out a little bit. And you've got the Four of Pentacles. That's where people are closed off and keep their cards close to their chest. So you might be a bit like that, whether it's with I mean, it could be with everyone, or it could just be with specific people, a specific person in a specific situation. You've got the Devil. Let's see what else comes in for that, because you've got the Ace of Pentacles. Seven of Wands. Okay, so there is the possibility that you could be trying to come out of, if you have been in a bit of a defensive energy, you might be trying to come out of that yourself, actually. Let me have a look at the main theme again. Let me look at the Devil on its own. I know the Seven of Wands is a protective energy, but then you've got the Three of Pentacles at the end, so I'll probably look at that as well. So let's look at the Devil. I mean, you've got an opportunity here. You may be at present kind of closed off, but as I say, you might be trying to come out of that. And I think I say that because the Devil is in reverse. Like if it was upright, I'd say 100%. Oh no, you're just trying to avoid people and whatever. But let's look at the Devil for you. Yeah. I think you're trying to open up. to be honest. I think you are trying to overcome that, because I did speak about what you've learned, didn't I? Yeah, I said it at the beginning, didn't I, that you want to be successful, you want to be happy. So as much as you do want to have your sense of sovereignty and being in control, I think there were clarifiers here that indicated that you do kind of want to make things work, and you're probably aware that you can't do that completely on your own. So okay, let's have a look at the Ace of Pentacles to be nosy. I mean, it's an opportunity, so I guess there's an opportunity here to try again to make things work. Ace of Swords. Well, that's about getting clearer on something within an opportunity. Let me get one more for that. I think it's kind of more a discernment type energy. It's an opportunity to use that discernment that you've used, where you decide what you want, and then you decide whether or not it's right for you, if it feels right for you. Let's look at, what else I was going to look at, that Three of Pentacles. So you decide whether opportunities and situations are right for you. That's discernment. If you're working together with people, you are learning to trust your sense of discernment in whether or not it feels right, if it's working, if it's, you know, on all levels though, practically, emotionally. The Hermit, that's cutting out the noise to figure it out for yourself without someone telling you what's what, because sometimes it can be manipulative, can't it? You have to learn to trust yourself. I love that, the Queen of Swords, she definitely trusts herself. She's been through the whatever story that was here. She's been through that and she's learned from it, and she's more discerning for it, but she's not closed off. In a higher vibe, obviously she's not closed off. She welcomes other people's stories in. So I think you're probably trying to overcome some of that, to be honest. And again, that opening up energy. Four of Cups. Again, it feels more like just using the discernment, so you don't end up, you're very clear on what excuse me, getting a really tickly throat, so that you don't end up disappointed or settling is one thing that comes to mind as well. It's sort of maintaining that sense of curiosity that I said you could perceive from that King of Cups, that sense of openness, but still having that discernment. So yeah, okay. I have no idea what I'm going to call this reading. It's interesting. So we've got the Star there, the Queen of Cups. So as much as it looked like faith was lost up here, you've got the Star here and you've got the Queen of Cups. That is a really positive energy going forward. Well, at present, until I get into the clarifiers, but it's almost like where you get to the point where you really trust how you feel, and you just have a great sense of hope, again, curiosity. So maybe that'll be me tile, because it's I've said it so many times. So the Star, Queen of Cups. And I forgot to say this, the Six of Wands can be a card of leadership as well. So yeah, I think I know what your title might be actually. Right, you have the Five of Pentacles, which doesn't feel like a bad thing, to be honest. Queen of Pentacles. You have the Moon and you have the Page of, well, okay, I like this energy. I know it looks like it's not much, but I like it. The Moon, let's get one for the Moon. Yeah, you got a strong sense of using your sense of discernment and judgment in this reading with that High Priestess coming again. So again, I said it looks like a sense of hope and trusting how you feel about things, whatever it is you feel passionate about, whatever you feel you want to do, the situations you get involved in, it's trusting yourself. We have that Five of Pentacles there, but it feels more like, because you have that sense of hope and curiosity, there's not, the fear isn't there as you go into the future, because it's a process by the looks of it. The fear isn't there. It's like, even if I get rejected or I get left in the cold or disappointed or whatever, you have that Queen of Pentacles energy within you that can nurture you, and feel grounded, I think is the best word to use. You've got the Moon there. It's about facing the unknown, isn't it? It's next to the Page of Wands. He's an explorer. He is or she is curious in facing the unknown. You know that you've got your intuition there and your sense of discernment, to trust what does feel genuinely supportive for you and to pursue whatever it is that you feel passionately about, or that your heart feels connected to. So it's like a fearlessness. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. That's a future energy, so it's on into the future. Let's look at the 10, or potential future as I always say. Let's go into the 10 of Wands. That is your guidance. The first thing that comes to mind with that is, if anyone is more in that, as much as I said it looks like a process of coming out of that, well, it's guidance to use your discernment first of all. Just because all the wood is blocking that person's view, that vision. So it's about using your discernment, but it is also because of that surrender to receiving love and support card there. It's that, again, that curiosity and being open, not trying to do everything yourself. If you've gotten to a point where, or if you are still in that phase of, I can't trust anybody, so there's no point letting anybody else in, there's no point letting anyone help me. It's a bit of a warning to receive love and support. But let's clarify that 10 of Wands, King of Wands, of Pentacles in reverse. I'm going to try that again. It was the 7 of Cups, the World in reverse. We've got the 3 of Swords, 3 of Swords, 2 of Swords. So the first thing that comes to mind is that in whatever you're doing, that leadership, the word leadership is there again. You can definitely lead, but again, you can't do it all by yourself. That warning again, not to be afraid to let help in, to let love, support and help in. Trust that your intuition will guide you. 2 of Swords often feels like discernment for me nowadays, discerning what is beneficial and what's detrimental. Let me get something for that 8 of Pentacles. I feel like that's just that thing of where you can't do it all by yourself. Whatever you're doing, you're going to need a bit of support. You've got the Empress. I mean, she is the epitome of love and support, isn't she? Yeah. 10 of Wands. You need that. Yes, you can do it for yourself. That's fine, because we need to try to give ourselves whatever we need first of all, and then the help can come in. And it's a funny one, because I was thinking about this morning, about when people are in situations where they are really vulnerable, and they feel like they can't give themselves whatever it is they need. And I suppose we think of more extreme situations like with babies. A baby cannot be an independent, can they? They cannot do it for themselves. Or excuse me, if someone's ill, they're vulnerable, they can't do it for themselves. If someone has mental health problems, they can't do it for themselves. There are limitations on it. But yeah, you should hopefully, as a normally functioning person, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way at all, but as someone who's just functioning as a regular person, we should be able to give ourselves what we need before anybody else can. So if what you need is love and support, yep, do it for yourself. But you may get into situations where you do need the help. Let's look at the World. Support. 2 of Cups again. It's support. If you want to get exactly what you need, there's only so far you can go by yourself before you need support. And there might be a very specific situation here with you that this is in relation to. So I'll leave that there. So that was your advice, to not resist support. I mean, it looks like you're on a path where you are kind of having that sense of hope, that you can trust in humanity. That came to mind. I'm not going to lie, that did come into mind when I read these, and I just thought, oh, that sounds a bit corny. Let's not say that. But yeah, you can have faith in humanity, even if it seems tough. And yes, there are people in the world who make it very hard to have faith in humanity, but there's good as well. So let's look at the Sacred Rebels guidebook. And sometimes it's one of the ways we can get really disappointed is because we look for help in specific places and it's just not where you think you want to get it from. I've done that before, where I know there was a period last year where I went through a really rough time mentally and emotionally, and I felt absolutely awful. And unfortunately, I'd had a disagreement with my mum. I've got a I've got a very good relationship with my mum. Very close to my mum, but she has her own stuff going on in life too. And as I say, we'd kind of had a bit of a disagreement, and we weren't, things were, there was a bit of distance between us. So I was going through a rough time. I didn't want to call her. I didn't want to be a burden, as well as the fact that we'd had a disagreement. I didn't want to be a burden to her. I did try and reach out to friends, and I got crickets, and it felt horrible. It felt really horrible. So I had about a week or two where I'd already felt bad before that, and then that week or two was just the lowest of the low. And then I think eventually I did, once I was back on normal terms, shall I say, with my mum, I did let her know how I felt, and it was a massive relief, because it was so disappointing. Because, you know, like, I'm one of these people that I bottle things up a lot and keep it to myself. So for me to even reach out to these people, it was a big deal for me, because I don't usually do that. I'm just like, oh, I'll just keep it to myself and deal with it myself. So as I say, reaching out was a huge deal for me. And as I say, it was crickets. I was pretty devastated, I'm not going to lie. And I know we can't expect people to be at our, well, it wasn't that I expected anyone to be at our whim, because I never asked them for anything anyway, but just that occasion where I really, really desperately needed the support, mentally and emotionally. Like, they didn't have to physically do anything apart from just listen. It was really devastating. And then, as I say, I did explain what was going on to my mum, and she's like my biggest supporter in life, and she really gets where I'm coming from. So it was such a relief to talk to her. But as I say, sometimes you reach out for support, and it's where you want to get it from, or where you think you should get it from, you don't. So you have to try different avenues. But anyway, let's get off that talk. So final advice for Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising. Final message for Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising. Nope, that's like 50 cards. It's not 50, it's 4. That's still too much. Try that again. And I have completely mixed the deck up in a really weird way now, so bear with me a minute. Okay. Excuse me. Try that again. Final message, just one. I'm only reading one message, even if 2 come out, for Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising, please. Okay, you've got 2, and oh God. Okay, I don't know. I'm going to have to read both of them, I'm afraid. I know that sounds a bit ominous saying it like that. Yeah, I'm going to read both of them. If you don't want to hear them, then just skip through the video. But it's because when it's a message that's not blatantly self-explanatory, it's like there's got to be something in there in both of them that's going to be helpful. That's why they've both come out like that. So I'm going to put these here, or should I put them here? No, we'll put them in the middle. I know it's a bit of a mess of cards. We're going to start off with collaborative dreaming. So that's networks, isn't it? One of the things that comes to mind, that is about letting, well, I believe it is, because I can't remember these messages off by heart, because they are on the longer side. But anyway, so this one, collaborative dreaming, it says, your heart is big enough to dream not only for yourself, but for a new humanity. That is Aquarius energy big time as well. Imagine a world that is healed with respect, understanding, and with community that fosters life. Even your dreams that relate to you alone will contribute positively to the greater good, because that is the nature of your heart. Your heart naturally and intelligently cooperates in a grand scheme of loving creativity, working to heal the hearts of the world. The heart creates win-win situations that benefit the individual and the collective. You are being asked to honor your growing desire to co-create with conscious, like-minded people. Your collaborative dreaming is a heart-inspired win-win, bringing mutual enhancement to yourself and others. The heart wants to love and be loved. Working with others creatively is a way to allow the heart to grow. It is a chance for you to learn how to honor yourself and others, and to find ways to live and let live, simply by growing and strengthening your active trust in your heart's guidance. It's the whole message, isn't it? It says you are asked to bear the rough patches that can happen when you work creatively with others. Ideas might clash and there can be friction, particularly if you have different ways of working. Sometimes big dreams need more fire to ignite them into reality. More fire might require more friction along the creative path. It is not meant to be a permanent condition, just an aspect of the creative process from which you can learn something useful if you wish. Your guidance is to embrace any experiences of friction or tension within yourself or as you work with another, with compassion, detachment, and tolerance. Creative endeavors, particularly involving groups, can bring up unresolved issues about being valued, heard, or capable. They can also trigger disputes about taking responsibility or inflame insecurities about being cast into unfamiliar roles of leadership or of having to follow. This might happen for you, for others, or for all involved. The stronger the creative energy that flows, the more likely that triggering will take place. It is the nature of creative energy to move in all directions. It doesn't just want to grow one project. Everything that comes into contact with it will grow. That means that the art and the artist are in the process of creation. This can be smooth, but it is more likely to be rough sailing, at least at times. This is not a sign that something isn't working, far from it. It is more usually a sign that growth is happening and you are feeling the growing pains. This oracle is guiding you to stay in your integrity, honor, and what you feel, and remember why you chose to open up to group endeavors in the first place, especially if the group involvement becomes complex or challenging. Call on unconditional love each day and evening. It only takes a moment to do. I call on unconditional love. Please help and guide me and this project. You are going through this experience, or will be in the near future, because you are part of a new creative learning program for humanity. This learning program is taking place at a spiritual level, and it requires highly individualistic and creative people to learn to work with each other without compromising who they are in order to reach a common creative goal. Wow. Okay, I'm just looking at how much more there is, right? It says, it is wonderful, important, and challenging creative and spiritual work. You need a strong sense of self to be able to engage in the process and not lose your voice during the journey. You need a strong enough sense of self to be flexible and know when to bend rather than break. You have to intuit what is going to be a good heart-inspired sacrifice for the greater good, and when you will need to stay true to your own voice for the greater good. Only the heart can guide you on these matters, and others may not always agree with your instincts and vice versa. That is part of the challenge of staying present, so that the friction created can be channeled into creative energy rather than lost in emotional turmoil. Please remember that what really matters is that you hear your own voice. Others may or may not be able to receive it. When you hear your own voice, you will be able to connect with your heart truths. You will know when it is right to remain in a group, or when you need to withdraw in order to work with others who resonate at a more appropriate vibration and perhaps in harmony with your own. Not every collaboration will be long-term. Sometimes the learning will be short, sharp, and possibly even painful before it turns into the wisdom that is gained from experience. At other times, the journey will be more loving, supportive, and harmonious. This is neither better nor worse, just different. This oracle comes with particular guidance for you at this phase of your life path and creative journey. You are no longer to think of yourself as the lone wolf. Yes, you have your unique path to tread, but you now have tasks to accomplish for your own growth and the greater good that require more than a one-man band. You will still do your own work, of course, however, others are on the way to help you. There is only so much a single drop of water can do on its own, though it is precious. Together, those drops can become a wave and make a considerable impact in the world. You are a part of a wave of loving consciousness, and you are meant to be exploring collaborative dreams, healing relationships, and conscious communities. Some connections will be short-lived and perhaps involve some learning experiences that you are hopeful of never needing to repeat. Others will be longer-term loves. Either way, you will emerge more of yourself and more in connection with the world that wants your ideas, presence, and light, energy and light. This oracle brings a message to those of you that are involved in a group and are struggling over whether to continue or to let it go and move on. You are asked to trust your heart and not to allow any group to become more powerful than the wisdom of your own heart. Always allow the sacred rebel within you to question authority. Is it loving and wise authority, or is it coming from a place of fear-based control? Look to your heart's wisdom to discern whether your involvement in a group is healthy or not. Sometimes a group can only receive so much of our energy before it is time to move on. Sometimes a group is not receiving us at all, but we feel that we are meant to be a guiding hand in it for a period of time before our heart urges us to let go. Ask for guidance, do the healing process below, and trust in the feelings that become clear to you over time. You will know what to do, and you must always trust your own voice above any other. Right, get my breath back. That was a really long message. Right, I'm going to look at this Be the Hunter, Not the Hunted, and I'm just going to scan it to see if I feel I need to read the whole thing, because that collaborative dreaming, it's not necessarily that I mind reading long messages, but it's a lot to take in, and I don't know about how your brain works, but when I get a lot in one go, it can go over my head. So this one, this Be the Hunter, Not the Hunted energy, it's where I kept on speaking about using your intuition to guide you of what's right, what's not, what feels healthy, what feels unhealthy. I don't feel the need to read this one, because I feel like that collaborative dreaming card really covered a shitload of the whole reading. I should have just read that, and that would have been the whole reading, to be honest. So just bear with me a minute. Yeah, it's strongly talking about your intuition in helping you to discern situations. Yeah, I'm not going to read that one. It's a good message, but it's just, yeah, as I say, it's very much about intuition. So, and honoring yourself, using the intuition to honor yourself as well. So I will leave your messages there. If you are still with me, thank you very much for watching the video. Feel free to like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you want a personal reading, see the info below. But that's it for now. Take care.